So today was the release date of Bad Batch Episode 9, and with the release of this episode, I was ultimately disappointed. Of course, I was glad to see everything that transpired, and we're going to talk about everything now that the episode is finished. However, the fact that Boba Fett did not make an appearance in this episode is simply put criminal. I think they're saving him for later on during the finale episodes, at least episode 15 or 16 even maybe. But come on, this was the perfect opportunity for Boba Fett to make a reappearance in the Clone Wars sequel, The Bad Batch. However, we got the next best thing, I guess. So we're going to talk about Episode 9 and leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. How did you think Episode 9 was as an episode all by itself? Because I think that overall it just served as a reminder of what Omega really is. The explanation of the backstory. Why is she so important to the Kaminoans and basically to everybody else? Surprisingly, Crosshair is still on the hunt. We see Clone Force 99 trying to escape Crosshair, and they do so very, very quickly. We still see that Crosshair, his injuries are still visible and possibly getting even worse. But he is not relenting. He is so convicted in his hunt that he wants to kill or drag down everybody who was supposedly a traitor of the Empire. Ultimately, the Bad Batch get away as they jump to lightspeed. However, then we see how Omega is being treated. She is in a solitary cell, and both Todo and Cad Bane remind her to not make any trouble. Although that's basically not possible for Omega, who is a very cunning and smart little clone. What she does is try to make a wedge between Todo and Cad Bane, and it starts really early on the episode. The focal point of Omega's escape is basically the shot-off leg that Hunter inadvertently shot off from Todo. Cad Bane refuses to patch it up together, and so Todo has to do everything by himself, but unsuccessfully. Omega, still trying to get inside Todo's mind, is offering help to Todo, telling him that back on Kamino she used to repair droids all the time, especially the medical droid. We get a Techno-Union mention in this episode when Todo tells Omega that he is a Techno-Union droid and very much capable of fixing himself, although as I said, he did not achieve that goal. Somehow Omega fools this little droid to let Omega out of her cell and let her help him. However, Omega is extremely smart in this aspect. At least she shows that she is different and more capable than all the other children we have grown accustomed to seeing in Star Wars. I would say, as children have it, Anakin was probably on par with Omega, if not Omega is just a tiny bit smarter. Of course, Omega in the end fools the droid by trying to fix his leg. She actually shuts him down and now is trying to go after her communique device, the comlink that she established with the Bad Batch early on. Todo had hidden it somewhere. Unfortunately though, during that time, Cad Bane talks to Lama Su, who tells Cad Bane to go for the rendezvous point and for the Kaminoans to bring unmarked credits. To make matters worse, Lama Su now does not trust Nala Se, simply because he thinks that Nala Se has grown too attached to Omega to complete this mission. Therefore, he sends Tan Wei instead of Nala Se. This is when we get a great reference of Bespin of Cloud City is located on the leader system, which we learn very quickly since Omega tries to communicate with the Bad Batch now that she has found her comlink. Cad Bane immediately realizes that something fishy is going on. Now he realizes that Omega has made a run for it, while she's trying to reach Clone Force 99. Unfortunately, Tech cannot pinpoint her location because the signal is so weak, although they are talking to each other. Right at that time though, Cad Bane reaches up with Omega, who ultimately gets saved, and this is the moment when I was waiting for Boba Fett. Truly, I thought he would make a resurgence, but instead it was Fennec Shand, who went after Omega as well. In fact, she told Cad Bane that she was her prized possession first. Now the two bounty hunters fight for Omega. What's worse, behind Fennec Shand, we see the dead body of Tan Wei. This might seem cruel right now, but later on we learn that Tan Wei and Lama Su basically want to get Omega back because she is a first-generation clone, meaning that they want to extract the Jango DNA crisp and clear, since now with so many batches of clones, the DNA has been diluted. Lama Su wants prime DNA of Jango Fett, and this is what Omega has. So now Cad Bane not only loses the credits that Tanway brought, but he loses the girl as well, since Omega escapes and both the bounty hunters are after each other. With an explosion, Fennec Shand temporarily disables Cad Bane, who is left unconscious. When she catches up with Omega, who has now sent a big satellite transponder signal to the Bad Batch, Fennec Shand tries to reason with Omega, trying to tell her that she is actually getting her to safety and not endangering her. This is of course because later on we learn that in fact Nala Se is double-crossing Lama Su for a very specific reason. She had strict instructions by Lama Su that whenever Omega is to be brought back, she is to be locked up in a cell and extract her DNA and ultimately terminate her completely, meaning kill her. Nala Se could not bring herself to do that to Omega. She basically loves this little kid too much, therefore she was the one who hired Fennec Shand and not the Prime Minister Lama Su. Nala Se wants to save Omega from Lama Su as much as possible, send her as far away as she can, never to be located again. A very shocking revelation to say the least. I know Nala Se saved Clone Force 99 and Omega from Crosshair back in episode 1, but I did not know that it would go to this extent. This might, however, spell ultimate doom for the Kamino facilities, as without the pure Jango DNA that Omega has, Lama Su would be forced to halt the production of the clones, in which time Emperor Palpatine and Tarkin are waiting to pounce. I think by the ending of the Bad Batch series, we might see the complete destruction of Kamino itself, and we will see stormtroopers versus clones. Yes, my guys, Battlefront 2, the classic one, the mission, including Boba Fett, might actually become a reality. Just imagine Darth Vader versus clones. That would be something so special that I just cannot wait. We already saw that in the comics, but in an animated show, it would be just a waste for them not to use Darth Vader at this point, since they already have the model from Clone Wars Season 7. While Fennec Shand is trying to convince Omega to go with her, this is another Easter egg that we get for Palpatine clones. You can already see these alien-type creatures, and at first it very much resembles the tubes that we saw on Exegol in the most recent Darth Vader comic. It goes as far as to resemble Snoke very much, and we all know that Snoke, Grogu, and Omega are kind of intertwined into this cloning web that Palpatine will ultimately use for his own devices. Later, when Omega releases one of the glass tubes to hit Fennec Shand and to escape, we see that in actuality it is probably a Kaminoan clone. But without a doubt, in my mind, this was a clear reference to what Palpatine will ultimately use these Kamino facilities for, and how he took the Kaminoans' ideology and transported it into Exegol, basically using these facilities and these laboratories for himself. In the end, nobody could get the upper hand on Omega, since Cad Bane and Fennec Shand kept fighting amongst each other. Two people fight, the third one wins, which this is exactly what happens to Omega, since she gets into an escape pod. As she jettisons this escape pod, it is intercepted by a shuttle, and it is none other than our heroes, Clone Force 99. Wrecker is the first one to greet Omega. They had got the signal from that satellite that Omega was beaming from, and they got a specific lock on the location, the leader system again. So all in all, a very great episode. We see that Omega now is completely saved from the bounty hunters, at least for now. Fennec Shand not only escapes, but sabotages the ship of Cad Bane. Cad Bane is left completely without nothing, without Omega, without credits, so understandably he is very angry. Fennec Shand ends up talking to Nala Se, who tells her that she doesn't have Omega, but at least she escaped with Clone Force 99, and this pleases Nala Se, who in the end just wants Omega to not be in the hands of Lama Su, who will eventually kill her. Now that Omega is with Hunter again, reunited, Space Dad, understandably, they are still worried, both of them, that these bounty hunters will not relent. Lama Su, the Kaminoans, want Omega by any means necessary, and they will keep sending bounty hunters according to Omega. But it is at this moment that Hunter makes her a promise that he will never let that happen. Simply meaning that Hunter is now more vigilant than ever. Basically, up until this point, he only thought the Empire and Crosshair were the only threat in the galaxy. Now he realizes that there are bounty hunters searching for them everywhere, so they need to be extra careful. What this means and where this leads them, I still have no idea. We'll have to see what episode 10 has in store for us, since everything is up in the air right now. You think that everything is resolved, but basically everything is up for grabs. They could go anywhere, meet with anyone. I can't wait to see if they get a Darth Vader cameo in there and a Boba Fett. There are so many possibilities. It's basically endless. What do you guys think? Who will cameo next? Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below. Subscribe for dailies. Now you have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.